Get Into Gate. This is episode 66. We got the full Get Into Gate team here. My name is Mitch. Joining me to talk all things Season 3 of SG1, we have Matty Gibson.
Never let Brennan call a game of bingo, ever. Hi.
66. Brendan Gibson.
G'day, 88 two fat ladies.
And Rhys.
G'day, number 11, two big dicks.
Naturally. Well, as you heard last week, we reached the final episode of Season 3. And here we are to break down Season 3 as a whole. Do what we've been doing the last couple of seasons and break it down into the top, middle, and bottom 7 of the last 21 episodes. Yes, there are 22, but there is a double episode in there. So Joline's Memories and The Devil You Know will be considered one episode, which probably puts it into a better favour for me.
Yeah,
because I did like The Devil You Know.
Yeah, Joline's Memories could have been in the bottom 3.
Oh, your mate Pete's in it, so that's why I like it.
Well, yeah, he comes back for Devil You Know.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I was reading this book that Craig loaned us, the Illustrated Companion, and it talks about how Joel and I's Memories was the first episode. Like, they wrote it as a single part, but then they realised, oh shit, we can't afford to build like the hell sets and do all this on a single episode budget. So they stretched it out to be a 2-parter so that they could get 2 episodes worth of budget into that one set.
We noticed.
So it's funny that, you know, the original story, we kind of were like, yeah. But then the second half, we're like,
Yeah.
Which is weird because I guess the second half they cover less ground. Like there was a lot of, you know, where it's just Apophis and one of the members of SG1 in a room, you know, with some tungsten lighting.
Yeah,
and
getting,
that's it. And then in their like
getting
jail cell.
Cosby'd.
And then outside where it was a lot of visual effects. So it's strange that, all the set stuff really paid off, I guess, in episode 1, and it was the poorer one. So, yeah. Okay. Peaks and
Apparently
valleys
it was
about double.
4 levels. It was like a 4-level set, 4-story set.
Oh, well, I think they're kidding themselves with that. That was a bit ambitious. We need 4 levels, guys. Really?
Yeah.
Who's going to sign
Especially
off?
because those guys
it'll pay off.
who wrote Joline's Memories, we never saw them again.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of which, I hope we never see... Let me find my notes, because I can't remember their names.
No, you're right. Yeah,
this is a scathing review.
just start your point before you know what you're going to fucking say.
Oh, look,
Just
you
like
two.
Mark-
Will you two just kiss and make up already?
Just
Jesus.
like Mark Ilvidson and Justin Michael Terry.
Who are they?
They're the writers of Stargate Origins.
Oh.
Let we never see them again.
Oh, let's hope so.
Let's
Jesus.
pray.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there.
That was fucking terrible, wasn't it?
Anyway.
All right. Well, before we get to our sort of rankings and that sort of stuff, we do have a bit of housekeeping. Oh, I don't have a knock sound effect, but knock, 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 housekeeping. No, you're giving me blank stares. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Tallies.
Housekeeping.
Now we have.
I'm here to cleanse the pool.
We have to retire one of our tallies.
Ah.
Why?
Oh, again, blank stares. Thanks, guys.
You're
We're
telling
confused,
the story, mate.
We're confused which tally because we think you're the Daniel banging chicks tally.
That's
or...
the tally.
Okay.
That's the tally we have to retire.
Right.
So we
Hang on.
added
No.
one. We added one this year with Kira / Linnea,
Yeah.
which brings us to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, Share dies. He no banging no bitches no more.
He bangs one, definitely.
Yeah, but that's in a time loop, so that kind of doesn't exist.
Bullshit.
So if you think about it, that's
you still
it.
got to count it.
Nah. Just wait till you see the episode, all right, rookie?
Oh.
Nah,
It's like if your missus goes, you cheated on me. No, I went back in
I was
time.
in the time loop. Yeah.
I was on a different timeline.
But, well,
Doesn't
let's...
count.
In window of opportunity, he fucks Tilk.
On a different planet, though.
Yeah, it
Come on
doesn't count.
now.
Doesn't
in
that scenario, Tilk's obviously the one doing the f***ing. Come on.
Oh.
So many holes.
The
But
symbiote on his back.
But in terms of Daniel just banging random chicks on planets,
Yeah.
it never happens again.
What a wasted opportunity.
Right? And isn't it ironic that he banged all these chicks while he was married and his wife was still alive?
And a nerd.
But now that she's dead, now that she's
Now
dead,
that he goes on to become a ripped
Single.
single.
yeah, and from this point forward, he becomes just like, just this fucking ripped...
Just one of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because his wife had a baby and he's like, oh, that's a wake-up call. I'm not doing that. Too much responsibility.
Yeah.
he's like, Jack may have that one kid on that planet, but who knows how many Daniel's got out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stage 5 clinger chick. She's definitely up the duff.
Oh yeah.
Up the duff.
She's using that broken sarcophagus as a bassinet. And one I'm thinking we may have to retire is the Wizard of Oz references. Only because I feel like we're about to go into a stage where there's an even better lot of references, which Brendan alluded to last week, which is the Simpsons references. I feel like they really start kicking off from this point. Jack and his Simpsons references. So I feel like maybe that's something that we'll start tallying from this season instead.
Especially when Tilk
I say
goes,
we, but I mean me because none of you guys will do it.
We knew what you
says,
meant.
It's Kearns, you idiot.
I think in one episode, Hammond goes, "See my loafers? Former gophers."
See my loafers.
The best part is when Skara comes back and they go, "Skara, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Lisa needs braces."
Well, before we get into our annual list, it's not really annual, seasonal list of top to bottom favourites to most hated, or horse shit, as Brennan calls them. Just want to announce, guys, I've set up a Patreon page for us.
Ooh, we's legit, yo.
Yeah.
What's that?
What is Patreon?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked. No, so basically what it is
That was Mitch's line on the script.
it's a
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I don't know where I am.
Okay, now I'm up to date. Okay, go. Okay, when we're at a rehearsal, I'll nail this.
Line.
Sweet.
So yeah, basically it's a platform that we can add so much more bonus content, including video, that sort of thing, behind the scenes sort of stuff. And basically what the listeners or viewers do, they go in and there's different tiers of membership, I guess.
But basically, so like listeners can sponsor the show. They can sort of get involved.
Basically, yeah, because I mean, at the moment, it is costing us quite a pretty penny to put it all up for free, and memberships
Which is
on all the
fine.
different.
We like to do
We
it.
love doing it. It's just
It's gonna help us mainly cover all the costs. Hopefully, well, that's the first goal.
expenses, yeah,
The costs of producing the podcast.
and that way we can put more money into producing more content.
Yeah,
including-
so we've done a bit of like a slow burn, I guess you'd call it, on the Patreon. We've just launched a couple of little, just sort of lower tier levels and stuff like that, just to gauge to see if people are even interested, because
Yeah.
you never know. And then hopefully, if we do get to sort of some of our goals and that sort of stuff, we've even looked into doing raffles and giveaways and of like Stargate merch and.
I'll sign nude selfies.
Yeah, I mean, I've got four or five of those already that I only need one. Like one'll get me through in a hard situation.
But yeah, it's completely optional. Obviously, we'll still release our weekly podcast free on SoundCloud, iTunes, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. So you won't be missing out. It's just that if you want more of us in your life, good,
Obviously.
God help you. I mean,
then you can jump on
or Poffers
Patreon.
help you, I guess.
We'll chuck some links up on the socials, and you can have a look and let us know what you think, what you want from us, and
Yeah, feel free to send in your thoughts and ideas of stuff that you'd like to see from us as well. If you're sort of inclined to sort of jump on the Patreon and
I know.
Because I guess a lot of the stuff that we are doing already, we're planning to do, is stuff that people have written in and asked us about. They want to know where we do this, how we do this, and asking your opinions on stuff and asking us to further stuff and more layered content. Obviously, we're an audio medium at the moment with the podcast, but want to do more visual sort of stuff and talk about more specific stuff in the episodes. It would take up, I think, too much time within the podcast. So we're actually able to do this now, I think, with the time that it deserves. Yeah, and respect that it deserves.
Basically, we want to bring you more stuff, but we don't have the time or money to do it. And this is basically a way of just saying, hey, we'd love to do it, but yeah, if you want to support us, or if you like what we do, then here it is on a platform.
Yeah.
Sign on up.
Yeah, and there'll be shout outs, there'll be ways for you to get involved in the show, both sort of behind the scenes and, during the show and stuff like that. So check it out if you're interested. And we'll just play it by ear and see how we go with it. Now, there's something that I've been alluding to over the last few weeks, just regarding the rules that are in place on me and my 3 Star Trek references.
Is it your safety word? Oh.
You know what my safety word is. Rhys.
It changes every day.
Now, I've had a bit of correspondence with some of our listeners, just saying, look, season 4, 3 references an episode probably isn't going to cut it. Season 4 is a very...
Yeah, for you, it is plenty for us.
Season 4 is a very Star Trek heavy episode.
Right.
Now, it's not so much that I'm going to need more than 3 references, but I'm just going to need a little bit of time each episode to cover off on some of the Star Trek allusions and things like that are in these episodes. So to make
Maybe we could do 1 minute with Maddie.
Oh, look, I'll need at least 2 or 3, I think.
Hey, whoa.
So I knew that
Don't
you guys...
push it, mate.
I knew that you guys wouldn't just give me that, God forbid.
Yep.
So...
No, this is
Correct.
a Stargate podcast.
Yeah, so Star Trek is halfway to Stargate.
Nope.
No.
You want to
First
start
4
a...
letters.
Stargate's
New
one
podcast.
word.
It's fine. Look, so I've come up with something that I think...
They're both in space.
I've come up with something that I think you guys will enjoy and that I'm prepared to suffer through.
Okay.
So it's a new segment that I'm going to call...
Special hugs from Maddie. Box of shame.
Here it is, the Box of Shame.
Oh, box of shame.
So I've got a little box here. It's got a little...
Take a picture of it, Rhys.
Earth
Yeah.
point of origin
Yes,
on
sir.
It kind of looks like it's a miniaturized version of the thing the Ghostbusters put everything they capture in. You know, when they like suck in a ghost into that little...
what do you call it?
I don't know what it's called.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're the one that brought it up.
Yeah,
so-
no, well, I don't know.
Give
I
us
don't know all the
a
terms, but
better angle so we see.
Well,
but it's
you
cool,
got
and
it.
it's got the point of origin symbol on it, which is
Yes.
kind of cool.
So now what I also have here is a bunch of blank pieces of paper and
Right.
a pen. So what I'm offering to you guys...
Don't do that. You just get like
Oh, shit.
every one of them will be a picture of dick and balls.
No, okay. So anytime in an episode that I think I'm going to need a couple minutes to discuss Star Trek, I'm going to invoke the Box of Shame. Now, what I'm going to get you guys to do is on a sheet of paper, write a phrase, a sentence, whatever, something you guys know that me reading aloud will crush my soul. Something
Look,
that you
oh,
know
look,
that,
okay.
that
Could
under
be.
duress
yeah.
I
Yeah.
would never ever say,
I've already got 3.
given my own free will.
Can we also write questions as like a truth or dare?
Sure, okay. I didn't think of that, but
Do
sure.
what we want.
Now,
There's some shit you've told us
Yeah.
off there we need to bring on.
Yeah.
now, yeah, well, that's the thing. Obviously, there's got to be a few stipulations, like, whatever you have me say, Mitch can't bleep the whole thing out because it's litigious or anything like that. So you got to factor that in.
And also, we can record them and just play them on loop.
Yeah.
That'll be the new hotkey.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. That gives you guys some ammunition on me, but then it
Yeah,
allows
like we need
me... but it allows me the leeway to,
Okay.
discuss
So
on
you're
certain
slutting yourself
episodes.
out.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
prostituting
Pretty much.
Star Trek on this podcast.
Yes, I'm willing to sacrifice my almighty morals.
Can I just say only now because like when you were saying that my first go to if we're here talking about a TV show and you're like make me say something that I would never otherwise say, my thought goes to something very similar, something related, like a TV or a movie or an actor or a director that you don't like and saying how much
Well,
you love them.
that's
And
what's
then
so
Brendan
much
going, I've
about
got 3 already. And I'm like, yeah, me too.
No, mine's about
Literally
dicks.
only now it's occurred to me that Brendan would be like, hey, what you like and where you like to put it.
Yes.
Like, it's taken me 2 minutes.
Well,
I just want to apologise to
I've
the
got
room.
3
I mean,
already.
that just all that really does is highlight the difference between Mitch, your and my friendship, and Brendan, your and my friendship. Like,
'Cause we bang.
so, and given
That's what we were talking about off air that needs to come on air.
and given that we're just talking about our Patreon as well, I thought, well, what might be a good idea is any of our patrons, anyone who jumps onto our Patreon, can also submit phrases,
Oh,
questions,
great
wording,
call.
Nice.
so you guys
Nice.
can get involved. I won't sort of touch it like I don't want to know what any of these things are going in. So I will never open that box, and go through it and see what's in there and, get
Prepare
rid of stuff.
yourself.
Yeah, prepare myself. So when I read them, it will literally be the first time I've seen what it is.
Yeah.
So
And you can't read it before you speak it as well. You have to read it as you're speaking it.
yeah. So you guys can get involved. Our listeners can get involved.
Is
Yeah.
it meant to be like a fortune cookie length, or can we...
Oh, I mean, obviously, time permitting. I mean, the more time you guys take
Maternal
on
instinct.
that, we've still got to
Pan
have.
flute.
I still
Yeah.
want at least 3 minutes to be able to talk about
Holy
Star Trek when
shit.
I invoke it at the most.
We might need an egg timer or something.
That's fine. If you guys want to set up a timer,
Let's
I'm
settle.
totally
Let's
okay
settle
with
on
that.
2.
Oh, I don't know if that's going to be.
No, you're not.
No, you're
I'm
just
not
gonna talk
asking you. This is a 3-man conversation. You're not included.
You might get faded out, and then we'll just go on to other
Yeah.
stuff. All right, good plan.
All right, so everyone's happy to rubber stamp that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
We'll,
happy.
All
we'll
right,
put
well,
it.
there's
We'll
blank
put it on
sheets
a
of paper
on
here,
a.
so...
Let's put it on trial. You got a 3-week probation.
Okay, well, I know...
3 month. 3 month.
I know I'm going to need it for The Other Side and probably Watergate very early next
Does
season.
not bother me.
At least. And Crossroads maybe as well.
Does
All
your
right.
conscience bother you?
So, yeah,
All right, I'm just writing one out now.
go for it.
What are you
Alright.
drawing?
Oh, just keep going. Sorry.
Oh, that is graphic.
And yeah, so if you do jump on board our
Cucumber.
Patreon, you can also contribute and make me say things that I wouldn't normally want to or would at all ever say unless under duress.
I like it how Mitch is thinking, I love Zack Snyder as a director.
Yeah,
Like-
or
And I'm thinking,
Greg
I love
Bale-
to shove cucumbers up my ass.
Yeah, Mitch would have gone.
Spectrum, yeah.
Mitch would have gone straight
One
to
end,
like
the
Greg
other.
Berlanti, Zack Snyder, paying out Joss Whedon, something like that.
Oh, I
whereas-
didn't think about Joss.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, this is good.
Giving us more.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a rough trot in the press lately, mate. So just
No, don't give me like boundaries. I want to talk. I want you to talk about what a
just don't.
sexist prick Joss Whedon is.
Oh, they all are in Hollywood these days, aren't they?
I'm kind of worried. that
Apparently.
maybe I've made a mistake here. Can we bring it back?
Absolutely.
Can I-
Nope,
can I-
too late.
Oh, you guys have got the box.
You've opened
down.
All right, well,
Pandora's
actually-
box.
Okay.
We'll meet you halfway. We'll keep the box, but you can't talk about Star Trek. All right, that's settled.
And
Alright.
settled.
Okay, so season 3 review. So
we
we've cut this
go.
down into 7, 7, and 7. So 21 episodes, like Mitch said. So we'll say our bottom 7 first. Obviously, from the better episode to the worst, and then we should do from 14 down to 1, or 14 down to 8, and then 7 to 1.
Yeah, I think 14 to 8 doesn't matter what order they're in because we've always sort
Well,
of said they're
does to
kind
me.
of
Yeah, no, I'm with you, mate.
interchangeable.
Because I couldn't
But
be bothered
obviously
numbering the
it's-
middle
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, it's mostly kind of the top 3 and the bottom 3 is what
Yeah.
we're most interested in, but we are interested in sort of top 7 and bottom 7.
Yeah, we want to
as well.
discuss,
And look,
do a
Yeah.
season review.
I want to say, leading into this episode, last sort of 6 weeks, whether it be on air or off air, we spoke about how this is going to be much easier to come up with our final 21, and especially next season will be much easier in a way. I found it. I think that probably only works for the top half in a way. Like I've actually found this really hard to the point where I actually I don't know where my proper notebook is that I made these notes. I've tried to do it this morning and go, oh, this is the order I had them in. I honestly can't remember because I'm looking through the titles and I'm reordering them. It's so split for me, and I'm having to put ones that I remember really enjoying and defending in my bottom 7,
Yeah.
and ones that I really like in my middle 7, and then I don't really know what else for my top.
Well,
I'm
had
going to say stuff here. You guys are going to be like, what? And I'm like, you're right.
No, I
I'm
don't
going to
think
cross
so.
it out
Yeah.
and reorder it. Like,
I've had my
no.
list for probably a couple of weeks now, and every time I open my book to go to it, I've changed something. Every single time I've gone, no, that's not right. And spoiler alert, for the first time, I've got 3 here on a tie that I can't actually separate. Like,
Well, you're going to have to, so figure it out. You got 2 minutes.
What, you mean your top 3?
no. It's like in the middle. I've got
Right.
one.
Oh, okay.
I've got 1 at the bottom of my top section,
Yeah.
and 2 at the top of my middle section.
Yeah.
But it's a 3-way tie. Like I can't separate them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
You have to because
I
they're
think-
different categories.
Yeah.
I think this will be the most diverse in terms of
I'm not going to.
what we've done.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to have it's not going to be like There But for the Grace of God and politics all over again.
No.
Like I
Oh,
don't
please, no.
think any of us are going to go to bat for an episode like that. But I think our list will probably vary the most than they have in previous seasons. All right, well, who wants to go first?
not me.
Brendan?
Yeah, all right, I'll go first. So starting from my 7th worst for the season,
The top of your bottom
Top of
section.
your
Top of me
shit
bottom.
section.
Joel and R's Memories, number 7.
Snap.
And The Devil You Know, unfortunately, is with that. Number 6, the 6th worst, Forever and a Day.
Ooh,
Then
that's awkward.
this one's going to be fun for Maddie. Fair Game, number 5. 4, Rules of Engagement. Number 3, Into the Fire. Number 2, Seth.
Snap.
And the worst for the season for me was New Ground.
Ooh. All right.
Mhm.
That was the worst.
Yeah, so shit. So boring.
That was actually one of the ones. New Ground was one of mine that moved. It was my second worst. It's now the fourth worst on my list. So from my 15 to 21, I guess you'd call it, Jolinar and The Devil You Know, Jolinar's Memories. Down from that, Legacy.
Aww.
From like it would have actually been lower if not for Daniel in the padded room.
He saved that episode.
Yeah, that was the only sort
That's
of...
the reason I love it so hard.
Yeah,
me too.
And when we went back to it and we watched it, I was like, oh, that's only actually like 4 minutes of film. Like, and the rest of it just... So, so down from Legacy, Into the Fire.
Mm-hmm.
From there, New Ground. This is a bit of a recurring theme for me. My third worst for the season, Point of View.
Not surprised.
Number 2 was Seth. Yeah. And my worst of the season was 100 Days.
100 Days, that's not the worst. Anyway.
For me, it is. I just... Like I said, I skipped that more than anything else in this season to the point where I forgot that there was the whole isn't she pregnant thing at the end. I just completely forgot.
You'd rather watch Seth than that one?
Yeah. Like we said, the boot
I've watched
leather,
that. I've watched it heaps. I don't know.
The boot
enjoyed that
leather
a lot.
of them like, you know, breaking into the compound and running around in the bushes and stuff like that. That's great. When they get inside, it's a lot worse.
In Seth, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, for me, I got the top of my shit list is Pretense.
Oh, right in the heart.
I could hear that. I could hear how much it hurt you.
Oh, you know that scene from The Simpsons where they rewind Ralph's heart breaking? Oh, God.
I was just about to ask you to remind me which one Pretense is again. I've just looked at my notes, and that hurts me based on where it is on my list as well. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you listen back to the podcast, I explained
They should have named it Triad.
Explain.
I don't know why they didn't name it Triad.
Yeah. Learning Curve after that. Maternal Instinct.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
From
Now in my left ventricle. Oh, Jesus.
You're killing him. You're killing him.
I'm not going to make it to
need to
season
break hearts.
4.
It's breaking hearts. Shades of Grey was next.
Oh.
I remember
Third
you not
worst.
liking that one.
Third worst was Seth. Second worst was 100 Days, and my worst was Into the Fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was our worst. The first half of that double was our worst episode of last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the only reason I think I found Into the Fire any good was because it was better than the last episode.
Yeah, it's funny, if you go back to our season 2 review, I think at one point I say, oh yeah, this one's junk, but the start of season 3 is amazing. I'm pretty sure I used the word amazing.
Well,
And
you
then
get
when
you get
go,
Hammond's
yeah, the Hammond,
true,
the Hammond stuff
and
is
you get
good.
Cree. You heard me? I said Cree.
Yeah, but then
A couple of good lines like that.
Hathor, and then the dying Gould who comes back to life 3 times, or the dying Toker that comes back to
Yeah.
life 3 times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She's like Jesus. Yeah, that's a pretty bad one. I think that was about my fifth worst. That was definitely in my bottom section.
Wasn't great.
Yeah, it's my third worst. It's pretty bad.
Mitchell?
Yeah, I'm going to... Surprisingly, when I first put this episode down, it was like very higher up because I was thinking about how much I love Devil You Know and the Return of Apophis. Then I remembered how much I hated the Jolinar's Memories episode and how often I check my phone. So I'll put it, like you guys, the top tier of my bottom 7. And then otherwise, I'll get down just towards my worst. This is no particular order at the moment. But Into the Fire, Point of View, Rules of Engagement... I've got Demons in there, which I think is probably up top tier as well. No, I actually don't. I don't think I actually finished watching that before we came in.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
And so the first half of it is just all that religious mumbo jumbo that I was just a bit like whatever. So it's not fair. So I'll put Jolinar and Devil, and then I'll put.
You're saying, Mitchell,
that
sometimes you run out of time before we record, and you don't always.
This
watch
is actually
the
a
entire
first.
episode.
This is actually a first.
I don't know if I believe
He runs out of time to write clearly.
I was going to say, I don't know if I believe that that's the first and only time.
I lost
you've done
my
that.
notebook, so
No, actually,
I need to
look,
write my list this
This
morning.
is actually my beautiful my DC TV notebook, Matty, that you can check out on our Get Into Geek podcast.
We've one of our
link.
videos on.
Are you writing DC in a Guardians of the Galaxy book? Is that what you're doing?
It's an Ant-Man notebook, but I just figured it's superheroes, so I'm putting superheroes.
so the layman wouldn't notice.
There's a big leap between the
Is that
Volantiverse and the MCU, though.
Is that your
Well,
DC
you just looked
book?
at Ant-Man said it was Guardians. So.
Oh, the book just looked the same as like the Guardians one that I had. I didn't...
We've put a video up on our Patreon account of in it you can see Mitch's notes. So
Yeah.
let's just leave it
Cool.
at that.
Yeah.
Jump on and have a
Pretty
look.
bad. This one was a surprise to me too because I actually did defend this episode quite heavily at the start. But
Hashtag
Seth,
fathers.
I actually quite liked Seth. I think what brings it down for me is what they could have done with it. Brendan and I discussed. We shared the same thoughts.
Oh look,
And-
had Seth have been in season 1, would have been one of the best.
Well, don't go crazy.
It would
Probably be in the middle.
Be in your top list.
It would have
Probably
been
would have been in the...
In the middle.
Yeah.
In the middle.
yeah.
It would be number 1 of season 1. Possibly
Well, is
season
it
2.
better than Tin Man? I don't
And
know.
we
Absolutely.
never saw Rhys again.
System Lord, guys.
And then
I
like
know, what a
Dad.
waste.
Daniel's dad.
like Brendan, my worst is Newground.
Yeah, good call,
yeah.
Mitch.
I feel bad. I mean, one of the actors actually contacted us the other week and said, thanks for the memories with your podcast.
Commander
Bruce Campbell.
Cigar or whatever.
Well, he wasn't
Tiger or whatever.
directly at us, so I don't feel too bad.
And it's what did they say?
should- How do you-
Vlad's. It was Vlad's post.
Yeah, 6 degrees of separation.
6 degrees of separation.
If he had done a bit of work and gone to our page and tweeted us, it would have been higher up.
Would have
I mean,
made mailbag.
what would have happened if it was...
It would have been number 1.
It was old mate that was, they're going to kill everyone who comes through. That would have been awkward.
No, Nefertum.
All right, well, let's head to our middle section. Let's just fire through these ones pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
All right, so going from the bottom to the top for me, I've got Rules of Engagement, Demons, Fair Game.
Slow down.
He's just
What?
copying your list.
I'll put this under the Mitch column.
I thought you normally copied Brendan. I thought that was...
No, that was through high school, mate.
Yeah.
Didn't
work out.
Learned his lesson.
He's switching.
Matty's way smarter.
So Dead Man's Switch, Learning Curve, and these top two I really could have put in my top section. Past and Present, and Forever and a Day. That's I think Forever and a Day more for
Forever and a Day, like
'Cause
close
she's
to your
dead.
top.
Yeah, I think it's important because of what it leads to in Daniel's arc, and it's obviously
Yeah, but
wrapped
was
with
it a good
Shara.
episode?
And that's what I'm getting at.
No.
I think in my mind, it's a better episode than what it is when I watch it. When I watch it, I go,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, it's all these dreams."
Yeah,
sequences,
I understand what
you
you're
know.
saying. The
Yeah.
importance of the episode has a high caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah, it outweighs the quality of the actual
Yeah.
episode.
Although you do
Yeah.
get that gun turret on a mount. So,
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a show
Swings
episode
and
with none of her
roundabouts.
boobs. So, there's also that you got to factor in.
I know what you mean, though, because when I look back at it, I go, yeah, that was a cool episode. But halfway through, they just did too many dreams. There's too many dreams upon dreams upon dreams. And I know how much you like movies like that.
you would hate Inception.
I liked
Yeah, but it
Inception,
wasn't
so
even good. They needed to stop and get on with real life.
Oh, now, speaking of, I just want to quickly roll back to our the illustrated companion with the Harcesis child, and something we were talking about the other day. So, you're going to love this, Brendan. Jonathan Glasner is very proud of this episode. This is regarding Forever and a Day.
Yep.
He's very proud of this episode and thinks it's one of the best scripts for the series. The idea came out of a desire to finally wrap up the Shara story. However, Shara being there was sort of a Daniel Jackson's overriding motion to stay with SG-1. So we had to come up with a new goal. That's where the Harcesis child came in, which, giving credit to the proper person, was actually Robert Cooper's idea. So what I was saying the other week is,
Yeah, so you're right.
Robert Cooper actually
Ah.
invented the Harcesis. Now I did do a little bit of research, and there is an Egyptian child god, son of Horus, known as the Harceus. It's
Okay.
spelt differently. So I assume that's what he's...
So a change of spelling.
Yeah, it changes spelling. So look, it's a kid.
New idea.
I'm changing the spelling, and he's going to be forbidden.
Forbidden fruit.
Yes,
We'll hide him behind a wall.
Or just in a cloth in Origins.
and for no reason. For
Oh,
absolutely
just-
no
You can
reason.
kill it too.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, and say that it's forbidden.
And who's the father? Anyway.
And still,
Who was the father?
I mean, that was all girl power, mate. She just made it herself out of midichlorians.
Good
That's
call.
what gods do, mate. Miraculous.
All right, so who else wants to give their middle section?
Yeah, mine
So-
was. I I'll just jump in on you there,
No,
mate.
go for it. You haven't done your order, so
Fair
doesn't matter.
game. Fair game, Demons, Forever in a Day, Rules of Engagement, New Ground, Jolinar's Devil You Know, and Nemesis right at the top of the list, I think.
What?
I knew that was coming.
Look, I'm getting
Me
for the
too.
third season in a row. We're gonna have to quote Brendan here and say, "Well, you're wrong."
I don't think I am.
Wow, and we say it every season as well.
Cooper.
The view of the first timer.
Sorry, we also
Yeah.
say that too.
Yeah.
The view of the first timer.
Yeah, and it's relevant because
How
I
interesting.
remember. It's so funny because I've watched all these at least 10 times each.
Yeah.
So for me, when I hear Rhys say his initial thoughts, I'm like, that's exactly what I thought too. And it's amazing how much it changes over time and the way you remember episodes.
Guys, especially for you two, Brendan and Mitch. Rhys just put Nemesis and New Ground in the same category. How do you feel? Discuss. How do you feel about that?
Very interesting.
Well,
You
he
raised
didn't.
that point.
He didn't order them, so
Still, they're still
I
in the
feel
top
like
seven together.
New Ground was seven below that.
So you're applying your own,
My own logic.
just to stop your head from exploding. You're applying your own inner logic to Rhys's thoughts. Love it.
Nemesis for me was it was a little bit overwhelming and confusing. You know what I mean?
is-
Watching it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure,
We got
obviously.
technobugs.
Spiders,
It
but
is
robots.
I guess it is a huge departure from the Goa'uld, the ancient Egypt, all that kind of
Yeah.
sort of stuff that you've been used to. But I guess for the rest of us, it's just a
Kickstarter.
drop in the ocean.
obviously
of where we actually go.
it's a big story arc, and if you go through the story arc, go back and then watch it, you'd be like, oh, this is where it all started. And like
Yeah,
you said,
pretty
the
much.
importance of that episode is probably has a more of an emphasis on why you like it. I mean, it's a great episode, and you get a whole heap of good stuff. But for me, yeah, I mean, it was too much at once.
Wow, interesting.
But I'm a little by little type of guy. Just ask me, missus.
Yeah.
Ew. Don't
Just-
even know what that means.
I think I've already picked then what Rhys's number one is.
No, you haven't.
What is it?
It's the one that you watched twice.
What's that?
Foothold.
Well, all will be revealed.
All right, you
But
think
no.
of your middle?
Oh, well, mine's ordered, so I'll do mine. So from the worst to the best, I've got Past and Present, Learning Curve, Shades of Grey, Point of View,
Ooh.
Maternal Instinct, 100 Days, and then Pretense.
It's like acupuncture. Oh, Jesus.
Someone's over there either stabbing Maddie or sucking his dick.
Maternal Instinct is boring.
Yeah, absolutely. Too much pamphlet.
Boring.
Mate, there's no such thing as too much pamphlet. We established that.
Trust me, there is. I listened to our last podcast.
Yeah. He's just like, no wonder I didn't fell asleep.
All right, Mitchie, what about you?
Okay, this is out of order too. I don't give a
That's all right.
I like it how I specifically texted the group saying,
Yeah.
put them in order this time, and Rhys and Mitch went, nah.
Yeah, at like 11
Yeah,
o'clock
it's
last
too
night.
much
though,
effort.
So.
No, it isn't.
It is.
I made a list of priorities.
Put a
and
number
that was,
on them.
That was at the bottom.
The main priority was getting here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wrote the episodes
I
down
feel
on
like
the
that's
page.
at least
What
the
else do
second
you
most important thing I've done so far today.
The first was wake up.
Yeah,
on time.
absolutely.
No, the second thing was remember his book, and then
And once again, I woke up and I thought it was a work day, and I'm like, "No, it's my day to get in early and press all the buttons." I'm like, "Nah, it's okay. It's Saturday, but I still have to get in there early." But I feel like
And push
it's
the buttons.
fun, Like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't have to be here by 5, otherwise we go off air.
maybe we should
So-
institute a rule: last one to arrive has to buy breakfast for everyone the next week. Oh no, Mitch would be.
I can't
Mitch would
afford
be-
that,
yeah, I was
mate.
gonna say, yeah. Mitch would have to
Brings-
take out a second mortgage.
Brings in some wheat bix. You boys
There
have to
you
eat,
go.
They're dry.
eat them dry. Yeah.
Here's some bread from the freezer,
Here's some 3-year-old honey I found in the back of the cupboard.
mate. Honey doesn't last that long.
Yeah, it does. Honey's
No, I
forever.
mean my honey. Like, yeah, I go through that shit. It's like oxygen. Okay, out of order, as we've established. Forever and a Day, 100 Days, Dead Man's Switch, Learning Curve, Fair Game, Legacy, and Maternal Instinct. Oh, it missed out. I did like it. I did like it, but look, it could have been either or. I'm sorry, Maddie. I'm sorry.
Don't be.
It's all right. It's okay.
He's spewing. It's not going to be top 3.
I have no idea what our collective top 3 is going to be. This is
Yeah,
very
it's going to
interesting.
be interesting.
All right, so let's move on then. Lightning speed to our... I don't know why I said it like that.
Lightning speed round, go.
Top 7. So the bottom of my 7 is the one that I said was a tie with the top 2 of my middle. So the top 2 of my middle was Past and Present and Forever and a Day. This was a 3-way tie between those two and Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull came in at number 7 for me. But like I said, earlier in the week, Forever and a Day was my number 7.
See, I always thought you didn't like Crystal Skull for some reason. So I thought I was going to get shit on for putting it up higher than that.
No, like I enjoy it. It's one of those ones. It obviously really has nothing to do with any other episode. Like
it's a good
it's not an
standalone.
arc builder, but it's a solid standalone episode,
Yeah.
which is why I think you can watch it any time. You could almost show that to someone who's never seen Stargate before, and they could enjoy it. I think.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's it's good.
Same with Tin Man, and I think that's why I like those really early standalone episodes where they are just kind of not nothings, but they're just solid. They're really good.
Yeah, good standalones. All right, so up from there, number 6 I've got as Foothold. Number 5 is Ergo.
Oh shit!
Number 4, Shades of Grey.
Wow.
And my top 3 you guys are going to hate.
Well, don't say that.
No, you are.
That's
because
not normal.
You've already listed all 3 of these off. Number 3 is Maternal Instinct. Number 2 is Pretense. And number 1 is Nemesis, which I thought would just be a gimme for the entire room, but
No.
apparently not.
I've got a question. Are you just putting Robert C. Cooper's up on number 1 just to spite me?
No, and that's
It was tempting, but no.
And we spoke about this last season, or maybe even season 1, and it's like, for the longest time, up until probably season 6 or season 7 maybe, I was like, oh yeah, Robert Cooper, he's great. You know, he's a good writer. To me, it was like he and Peter DeLuise were probably the best writers, you know, in terms of having really good episodes.
Brad Wright.
Yeah, see, I think of him as the showrunner, so I feel like his signature is on every episode.
Yeah.
I never really noticed, like, oh, this is written only by Brad Wright. I've never really noticed that. But I always noticed when it was a Cooper episode or a DeLuise episode.
Yeah.
And then from a director point of view, I always notice when it's a Martin Wood episode or a Peter DeLuise
We might run through them maybe next season of the episodes that he has done, and I think you'll find some of them are fairly horrible.
I'll agree with you.
I think you'll find you were wrong.
When we
Yeah, that's his nice way of saying that. Yeah.
when we get to Atlantis, I will be all aboard the train. Like, it is just a ridiculous repeat of everything that's ever been done.
A bug.
A bug. And it latches onto your back, just like the one in Bane.
More bugs.
And then the replicators.
Yeah.
Even though we've killed the replicators, but they're different replicators, but they're still replicators.
Replicators.
Yeah.
It's a wraith bug.
They're Lantian replicators.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I will go Shades of Grey, Ergo. This is probably not much of an order until I get to the top couple, so I'm waiting for that Ergo sort of judgment.
Yeah, but you
before.
said you didn't really get the chance to enjoy it because of the kids.
Yeah, I
Which
know.
I agree with. Kids are a bummer.
Hashtag father.
But I don't know. Even the bits that I did see, and I know in our chat, and you guys were loving it so much, and I felt really bad because I'm like, oh, those bits I did see and had full attention on, I didn't appreciate as much as you guys. But maybe it doesn't need to go back, and I'm probably giving it a benefit of the doubt. So yeah, I'm comfortable with it being in the bottom of my top 7. But yeah, Shades of Grey, Ergo, Past and Present, I really dig. Crystal Skull, Nemesis, Foothold, and I think my favourite of the season might be Pretense, actually.
Wow.
I don't know. I love how it's got all the
I'm not
races
ask for
in
a
there.
high
And
five this time because I got denied last time. So
Oh, zing.
drink that.
No,
So,
I'm
yeah,
not proud of it.
When Rhys when Rhys put it in his bottom 7, I'm like, oh, I think that might end up being.
Was it
my...
This Girl's on Fire tipped you over?
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just adjust this.
Yeah.
Bottom 7.
I love Pretense.
Right.
Actually, that might give us an opportunity. I know we're running a bit short on time, but I did want to. I've got a few little notes here from the Illustrated Companion.
Levels.
And I note I'm flicking through the book, mate.
I can't hear.
Oh, just because you're deadpan all the time.
Well, look, I can see your levels, and compared to Mitch, compared to everyone else, they're low.
I'm using my radio voice. I mean, say something though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just finding the page, mate.
Don't get
Jeez.
offended. You know, we're just.
God, everyone's
gotta-
so aggressive.
You got a tab, mate. Just open the book
I've
where
got fucking 4,000 tabs, mate.
you want to borrow this and write on them, mate.
Shut up.
Call it a pen.
You
You got
lot.
two in front of you.
Anyway, I'll talk to people who actually like me. Hi, listeners. Honest to a fault, the first thing executive producer Brad Wright has to say about Pretense is, I didn't really like it.
Good call, Brad.
It was a It was a Catherine Powers script that Jonathan rewrote fairly heavily. Jonathan Glassner himself admits that he often gets confused when credited with writing the story. And he says,
I'm confused.
because even though I did write half of it, I tend to think of it as Catherine. So they're just throwing her under the bus, left,
Well, you
right,
can't
and centre.
just rewrite someone's work and then say, oh, it was her fault.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Yeah.
Brad Wright says, Jonathan was always more keen on the story than I was, but that was because he was leaving at the end of the season, and there were a couple of things he wanted to wrap up,
Wanted to feel.
including the Skara Chlorel arc. Wright agrees that the decision of the show's co-creator made perfect sense. It meant we could create new threats and new characters, but I'm not crazy on the episode because I never did like the device that allowed Skara to talk freely. Also, I didn't like how Skara just disappeared and went happily back to Abydos after the triad. It struck me that there would be far too much baggage. Wright feels that Pretense was a very interesting psychological story. It was almost the Picard story from Next Generation, where he returns after having been a Borg.
That's one.
Skara has been a...
I don't care if it's someone else's quote, mate. You're bringing it into the conversation.
You got someone else to
I
read
know,
that?
You could have
could've-
skipped it.
I could've-
Really?
I could have stopped reading a paragraph earlier, but I didn't.
It's your own fault.
Skara had been a Gould, he'd killed millions, but, well, he just goes home happy. In his defense, Jonathan Glassner offers Alexis Cruz was a semi-regular on another series and was being more and more difficult to actually get him back in for episodes.
No,
So that
okay.
actually contributed to why he was kind of written out of the show.
Wouldn't have
Yeah,
thought so.
I'm happy not to see him again, to be honest.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
I got bad news for you, buddy. All right, so is that everyone? Has everyone done the top 7, or are we waiting? Brendan, have you done yours?
Yeah, I haven't done
it's
mine
only
yet.
half the team hasn't, but yeah, go on.
Oh, it's just so many lists, guys.
Go, Rhys.
Oh, mate, mine is, here we go, top list. Number 7, Dead Man Switch.
Yeah, boy.
Number 6, Past and Present. Number 5, Legacy. Number 4,
Jesus Christ.
Foothold. God, mate, after you read your list,
Legacy? Jesus.
anyone else's is good.
Legacy.
Number 4, Foothold. Number 3, Crystal Skull. Number 2, Ergo. And number 1, Point of View.
I can't disagree with Rhys because
All right, you're going to make me do it, aren't you?
Point of View is good because, well, it's not fantastic, but you do get to go to an alternate universe or, again.
Yeah, another boring one. Let's wait till season 4 when we get to 2001 and 2010.
That's an alternate timeline, mate.
Yeah, of an alternate universe.
But it's an alternate timeline.
Yeah, which makes it an alternate universe.
Well,
because it still
Only because we
exists.
changed it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we had
Cause
time,
and effect.
if we type, anyway, I'm going to revert to the illustrated companion
Oh, let's.
on what
else
they
is
had to
boring?
say on Point of View.
No, please, audiobooks with high-pitched Matty.
Point of View. Let me just. This will be a much shorter one.
No Star Trek reference, hopefully.
Point of View came about because we wanted the opportunity for Carter and O'Neill to kiss and had to figure out a way to do it. That's it. It's the only reason that piece of shit
Good.
exists.
I've
is
whacked off to that heaps.
Yeah, me too.
Jesus.
Been great.
All they wanted was Jack and Carter to kiss, so they create a whole separate universe to do it, and then kill everyone off. That's bullshit.
Who said that?
Well,
though? I mean,
the reason behind Pretense is they wanted to get rid of Skara.
Yeah, it's still written well.
Drop.
Was it?
Was it? Half. All right. So my
I'm glad I put Pretense in my top episode, and Matty's copying all the flame
Yeah, right? Exactly.
for having it like in his top 7.
Bunch it.
all right.
Um,
No, keep going.
No, I wanted to know who said it. It was admitted by Jonathan Glassner, show creator.
Oh, yeah, because Brad Wright shat on Pretense, and then he's shitting on this.
In the original script, the alternative reality Carter was also an officer, but our Air Force advisors who approach such things refused to grant permission for that to go ahead. Their official stance was two military officers cannot kiss.
Who wrote Point of View? Do you remember? Does it say in there? I can't remember.
Story by Jonathan Glasner, Brad Wright, Robert Cooper, and Tor Alexander Valenza. Teleplay by Jonathan Glasner and Brad Wright.
All right. Number 7 for me is Dead Man Switch. Just got a nice nostalgic shine for me. Number 6, Legacy.
Oh,
Yeah, nice.
Shanksy's acting is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Saved it.
Can't go past it.
great 3 minutes of television there.
Number 5, Demons. Number 4, Crystal Skull. Number 3, Nemesis. Number 2, Ergo. And number 1 for me for season 3, Foothold.
Oh, that's interesting.
I love it.
That's a good app.
I think
It is
I've
really
watched
well
it more than
directed.
any other ones in season 3. It's
And
always
that's-
one I go back
And
to.
it's like what we were saying about Crystal Skull. It's a very good standalone. It
Yeah.
has no effect on any other episode. Oh, has effect on one episode in season 6.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's a complete standalone,
Yeah.
interesting, really good sci-fi.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
All right.
everyone.
So we will take a quick recess. We're going to come back with our bottom 3 collective and our top 3 collective
As a
of
show.
the season. As the
Absolutely.
show.
It's my favourite part.
The official Get Into Geek bottom 3 and top 3 of Stargate SG-1 Season 3 coming up right after this. I should actually play a real ad. That would be funny.
If you want to
Do
sponsor,
you have sweaty balls?
if you want to sponsor the show, get involved.
You going to prison? You need an ass guard. Brought to you
And-
by Thor.
All right, our bottom 3 episodes of Season 3 of Stargate SG-1. We had 2 of the episodes that shared across all 4 of our bottom lists. We had to do a few little mathematics tricks here and there. We've got our bottom 3 with the highest amount of votes, therefore our 3rd worst episode of the season, Into the Fire.
Yeah, fair call.
Second worst of the
Bloody
season,
Hathor.
as much as I defended it, Seth. And our bottom episode of the season, only a few weeks ago we spoke about this in the podcast, Newgrounds is our
Ouch.
worst episode of season 3. Actually, Brendan, that is your bottom 3. Official
Oh,
bottom
well, there you go,
Oh.
guys.
Is to
Nailed
show you
it.
bottom 3.
That was me last season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
How's
So-
that taste, Rhys? Cop that with your fucking new ground.
Oh!
It's because you boys are fucking jaded because you've seen it so many times.
Yeah. Plus, it's shit.
Look, I mean,
Hey mate, you
How
can't
lucky-
go buzz whippersnipper guns. Come on.
yeah, I mean,
How lucky was Seth, though, that New Ground came along?
right?
Well, the writers of Seth, I think,
Yeah.
are more lucky.
I don't want to say we've been watching Stargate for 20 years, so we know a good episode when we see it. But we've been watching Stargate for 20 episodes, we know a good episode when we see it. So,
Off Mr. Politics.
I just wish the writers and directors of Origins had watched a few episodes of Stargate before they.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, I'd rather watch New Ground and Seth than Stargate Origins again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, come on, mate.
Have you ever heard of Stargate? Oh no, we haven't.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
just
gonna
watch
write it.
season 1 and then yeah, that'd be fine.
Here's
Just
$80
after that.
make 100
So
minutes
true.
of television.
Like, I'm not joking when I say I want to do, like, funny little short episodes for our Patreon subscribers.
We'll have
And
the
it's-
same budget as
It's
Origins.
gonna be it's gonna be better.
I actually think it will, but I found myself
Yeah.
when we were watching Origins, I'm like, I feel like we could have done this,
Yeah.
but maybe a little bit better. I don't know,
Yeah,
like...
on like a zero budget.
Yeah, yeah.
You get some better
Literally.
actors as well. All right, let's.
Oh, okay, all right.
Hey, we could do a musical number.
All right, let's get to something we can hopefully agree on.
Mushnik and Son. Sounds great.
Our top 3 coming up.
Apophis and Son.
We're off to see Apophis, the wonderful bull.
All right.
All right,
Um,
top 3.
Top 3.
Let's do it.
Top 3. We should do ads for like if you're watching TV on the Tolan planet or the Asgard planet.
Do aliens give you pieces of fabric for your bed and you don't know what to do with it?
Do you hate wearing the plain old silver?
All right, our top 3 episodes of Season 3 of SG-1. Things are going to get interesting, and I'll explain along the way. I haven't included you guys while I've been doing the numbers here, but our 3rd best episode of the season, according to our cross-reference numbers and scores, is Crystal Skull.
Yeah, baby.
Yep.
Okay, I'm happy with that. That's yep.
Now, above that, we actually have a tie
Ooh.
for first
I hate
on
ties.
the shared amount of votes as far as we did a 3-2-1 point system, according to where we listed them in our respective top sevens, because they were in all of our top sevens. They both scored the same amount of points. Now, how I've judged this, and I will say the episodes are Ergo and Foothold.
Well, there's a clear winner there, obviously.
Sure, there is. You might not agree with it, but
Oh.
out of that, I have looked, and maybe you guys will disagree, and we can talk about it. But out of those particular 3 episodes, when I look at my top 7, my top ranked one of those 3 is Foothold. My third ranked is Ergo. Brendan's top is Foothold. Second, Ergo. Maddie's Ergo. Second, Foothold.
Obviously, I'm the sane one.
Rhys, Ergo. Third, Foothold.
Okay, well, Rhys is sane as well.
Hoo-hoo, baby.
So there's really a
Ergo's
tie.
Ergo's top is first on 2 of the lists. Foothold is first on 2 of the lists
Yeah.
as well.
So what we're saying basically is Mitch and Brendan are saying Foothold is better than Ergo.
Right.
Rhys and Maddie are saying Ergo is better than Foothold. So we
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
are in a situation.
But and
Where
even I would like to go and say,
we're in a
oh well, where
tie.
were they ranked in the next ones? But
Foothold was number 4
in
for
two
me.
of the lists, they were split by 2, and in 2 of our lists, they were split by 1.
So unless someone is willing to alter their vote, we're actually it's a two-way tie for first place.
All right, are we gonna have our first tie?
Well, like I said, this is the first time in my list I had ties. Like I had further down the list, I had ones that I couldn't separate.
Yeah.
Because how good this season is. So maybe we're going to have to award double gold and bronze.
Yeah.
No
Maybe
silver.
text Link. Which
Yeah.
one's better?
There you go.
Get a referee in here.
He's not going to be up this time of morning.
Oh, Twitter poll.
I don't know, though. I don't know
Twitter poll.
because he might just read it and go, yeah, this one bang.
Messaging with Stargate, he's up.
Oh well,
I reckon Lincoln would vote Foothold.
someone message
You know
him
what?
if we're
I'm
happy to rubber stamp that.
I'm going to message him.
Someone
He,
message him.
Won't be up. I can guarantee you he
We'll
won't
give-
be up because we're
we'll-
recording this pretty early in the morning.
We'll give him until we finish the next segment to see if he gets back to us.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
cool.
if he's gotten back to us by then, we'll include his vote. If not, we'll give 2 golds and a bronze. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, let's do
They
it.
do it in the Olympics. Why don't they give the bronze guy a silver? I never understood that.
Because he's still third. There's still 2
But he
guys.
came second.
But there's still 2 people better than him. All right, we're running out of time. Let's do it. Let's
All
do
right.
it. Let's go.
It's that time of the season, guys.
Of the season.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it's time to find out if
Rhys
Rhys
has
been
been
paying
paying
attention.
attention.
I nearly forgot the words. I haven't sung it in a long time.
No, I've just
a
changed. We're
while.
gonna do. I'm only doing it kind of end of season, mid season type deals. So if Mitch has
Less
finished
chance of me getting
texting
5.
Link, have we got a timer?
Oh, we do. 30 seconds.
For the uninitiated, we're testing Rhys on his Stargate knowledge.
G'day.
Hence the find out if he's been paying attention. Now,
It's all in the jingle, guys.
you have 30 seconds to answer 5 questions, short answer questions. Your time will start at the end of the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
There's going to be like 5 names questions, I know.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Who is the god of the Jafar whose nose drips?
Oh, Seth.
Correct. What is the name of Jafar meditation?
Kilnor Ream.
Correct. Who voiced the Asgard leader Thor?
Not Jackson. Shanksy.
Correct. What does Tok'ra mean?
Opposing Ra.
Fair enough. Who is Colonel O'Neill's celebrity crush?
Oh, the bloody...
Come
the
on.
mum out of Step Brothers.
I'll give you that one. Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah, that's the one. The steam train one. Yeah! From Back to the Future.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought that was going to get you.
turns out Rhys has been paying attention. Yeah! Woo! Oh, feels good.
Well
Feels
done.
good.
It does feel good, finally.
I feel like more of a bloody gator.
Rhys, I don't want you to go.
Thanks, man.
Oh, that sound effect
I
was
want to
good.
be your
enough.
friend.
We all do, mate.
Well
Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
We want to be your friend
Fantastic.
now.
Thanks.
Now you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm a full 3-season pledge now.
Yeah, that's it. Great call. All right. Any reply from
No
Link?
reply from Lincoln.
All right.
So,
Well, at this stage, I guess it's a double gold.
Yeah.
Double
Yep.
gold for Ergo and Foothold.
Let's just make Foothold number 1.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
then that'll match my list. So.
I mean, I
Yeah,
could
me
say
too.
let's just make
Yeah.
Ergo. No,
Message Deloise and ask him.
yeah.
Oi, write in. Let us know what you think. Let us know your top 3, your bottom 3. Let us know if you think Ergo is better than Foothold. If it's the opposite, don't let us know.
Newground was my favourite. Shut up!
Shut the hell up.
We get a text from Lincoln, and it's like, oh, Joel and I's memories, obviously. And it's like, oh, God.
Yeah,
I'm
and
betting Link
contact
says Foothold.
deleted.
He's the kind of, to me, he's a Foothold man.
Yeah,
I think
he's an action guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like as an actor, he appreciates a good actor like Dom DeLuise.
True,
So,
yeah. You all make
you know,
great points.
he could be an Ergo man.
Fair game, guys.
Oh, see what you did there. You're breaking new ground.
Jeez.
Oh.
Stop it.
Where's
And
the episode
now it's
list?
time to wrap things up.
Yeah. Getting
Oh, this could go on for 100 days.
Getting rid of your demons. Good work.
Let's just drop all the pretense to get the fuck out of here.
Guys, we need to shut up. This has been a learning curve for us
Ergo.
all. We just need to move on.
Ergo, this is the end of the episode.
Hey, I'll fire this dead man switch.
You're ruining your legacy, mate.
Ah, he's brought it back.
Oh, that's just your point of view, mate.
It's a learning curve.
Oh, Mitch already used that one.
It was quiet, but it
Oh,
was
better
there.
the devil you know.
What are we doing? There's been no pretense for this.
Oh, good.
All right, let's get out of here.
Good.
GetIntoGeek.com.
At least we left some good Joel and I's memories.
Yeah, throw
No
them into
such
the
thing.
fire, mate.
Oh. Seth.